Minecraft 1.17. The upcoming Caves and Cliffs update is going to be all about the caves. In the 1.17 update, the caves will finally be receiving a massive overhaul, complete with the introduction of a biome system for the new caves. As of right now, we currently know about 3 brand new cave biomes that are on their way. The Lush Caves, the Dripstone Caves, and the Deep Dark, whatever that place is. But what if there were more? Well, elites, welcome to List Week. Please allow me to introduce you to myself and today's video. For today's video, I've come up with 5 cool cave biome ideas. We're gonna check them out. Right now, today, these are all just concepts for fun. None of this is confirmed. Keep that in mind. Down in the comments below, drop one more cave biome that you'd like to see. And while you're on your way down there, make a quick stop at that like button and the subscribe button if you're new here. I had a lot of fun coming up with and designing the biomes that we'll be checking out in today's video. The first biome is a really dangerous one. In fact, it's probably the most dangerous biome that I came up with. Gamers, please allow me to introduce you to the cold caves or the frozen caves, whichever one you'd like. The key feature of this cave biome, ice, and a lot of it. Inside of this cave biome, you'd find blue ice, packed ice, and normal ice as well. This cave biome would also come with a few hidden tricks up its sleeve. How I see it, the Cold Caves biome would be an absolutely massive biome. The caves that make up the Cold Caves biome would be gigantic caves. This cave right here, this is a pretty, I would say medium-sized cave. This size would be the smallest cave possible with this biome. Now, obviously, as you can see here, I am getting absolutely swarmed right now. That is because there are stray spawners in the wall in this biome. Now, hold up. Let's talk about the stray spawners. In vanilla Minecraft, would those be here? Actually, probably not. The idea here with this biome is that strays will spawn inside of the biome at an increased rate. So the stray spawners, they're not actually necessary here. The spawners are basically just dropping the strays in so we can get the vibe entirely. So, of course, we need to watch out for the strays in this biome, but that wouldn't be the only thing, because in this biome located on the floor would be powder snow traps. Powdered snow is a new Minecraft 1.17 feature, and it would fit into this biome perfectly. In random spots in the Cold Caves biome, you would have powdered snow on the ground and then a couple blocks below it. It's not the most deadly thing, but it definitely could be a problem if you're trying to take on the strays inside of this biome, and then you fall down into the floor and you're trapped there, and then a couple strays, or maybe even, if you're unlucky, a creeper jumps down into that hole with you. Now let's talk about the lighting in this cave, because it's interesting. So in this mock-up, I used end rods and soul lanterns. In vanilla Minecraft, if these caves were implemented, this would not be the case. End rods belong in the end, soul lanterns belong in the nether. When you find this cave would probably be a dark cave. That would add to the danger of it even more. Unless the devs wanted to give us something brand new and interesting. That new and interesting thing, crystallized ice. Crystallized ice would be ice that actually gives off a light level. Imagine, let's say, packed ice and the soul lantern combined. Ice that doesn't melt, but is also bright. That would be really cool. I thought a biome like the Cold Caves would be perfect for, of course, a lot of ice, but also snow, and unfortunately, diorite. Diorite would fit really well in this cave biome because, of course, it is cold looking. I also decided to put the brand new calcite block in here. I don't know if that would really be the way to go because calcite has to do with amethyst, but I feel like it works here. And we should take a look at that. The Cold Caves are now absolutely overrun with strays. We should probably get out of here. Thankfully, the next cave biome is a whole lot more peaceful. I feel like the new cave should be a challenge, but every single new cave biome doesn't necessarily have to be a challenge. Here, we have a terracotta node. A terracotta node is basically just a strip of terracotta, just like in the mesa biome. Terracotta is such an amazing block, but sometimes, unfortunately, the mesa biome, it's like impossible to find. I mean, maybe I just have bad luck or something, but in my world that I've been in for a while now, I still haven't seen a mesa like anywhere. And sure, I haven't explored the most, but I've explored at least a little bit, and unfortunately, no mesa, or badlands, excuse me, small brain here. In terms of the sizing, these terracotta nodes would probably end up being smaller biomes, just a small strip of terracotta somewhere in your cave systems. The farther you go down, the wider the strips would go. I think that would be a cool touch of detail. Now, inside of the terracotta nodes, you would find lots and lots of gold, just like in the mesa. You could basically think of this biome as an underground miniature mesa biome. I also thought it would be cool to up the frequency of gold the deeper you go, but also up the amount of lava inside of this biome the deeper you go as well. And to add a little bit of danger to this biome, not much, but a little bit, sometimes you would have random lava pools. These lava pools could be exposed or they could be entirely hidden. So you'd come to this biome to mine up the terracotta, and then if you weren't being careful, you'd have lava tucked back behind the wall, almost like what you would find in the nether. I actually feel like this mechanic would be a great lead into the hidden lava in the nether mechanic, because if you're digging around in the nether and then you randomly find lava and it pours at you really quick, well, that was definitely unexpected and dangerous and probably unfortunate. If you were mining in the overworld before you ever went to the nether and found a hidden lava pocket, then you'd have the idea that hidden lava could be a thing in other places. You have to keep in mind that lava flows really slow in the overworld, so it wouldn't be that dangerous at all. Adding a cave biome that mainly consists of terracotta would be absolutely A1 for the cave update. Terracotta needs to be more accessible, and this is the perfect opportunity. So last year, when the B update was in production, this idea came to mind, and ever since then, it has never left my mind. I feel like this idea would be really cool, and it would fit perfectly into the cave update. So here we are on the surface. We have a random hole in the ground with honeycombs. What could it be? Maybe, just maybe, we should go down this thing, which is going to be really dangerous and really steep, but maybe we should go down this thing, and then maybe, if we're lucky, we'll find something cool, right? Right, totally. And look at this honey block right here. What is this, parkour? Oh, yes it is. Kind of parkour, a little bit. I actually enjoy this parkour. It's not too bad. We'll keep moving down right here, jumping ledge to ledge, and then, boom, here we are in the next cave biome, the B Caves. Now, this biome is really, honestly, not much of a biome, but I guess it kind of technically is a biome. When you find this biome, it will consist of one single, relatively small room, almost like an amethyst. Inside of this room, you'd have a bunch of bees and a bunch of bee nests. On the walls, tons and tons of honeycomb blocks, and even a little bit of honey blocks too. But the honeycomb blocks would definitely be the main ones here. Maybe even, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this, but the walls could be made up of the yellow terracotta and maybe even yellow concrete as well. Still can't decide on the concrete though, because the concrete, it's sort of a man-made thing. The ground could be lit up with candles, but it also couldn't be because, again, kind of a man-made thing. And then flowers, lots and lots of flowers. And maybe if the devs are feeling extra spicy, they come up with a brand new flower that is unique to this biome, some sort of cave flower. I feel like that would be really cool. Now, the glowstone on the wall over there, you just ignore it. It's in here to help light things up. Glowstone should stay in the nether. I feel like this would be a really cool biome for, of course, the bees. It would tie them into Minecraft even more than they already are. I mean, how cool would it be to be wandering around on the surface and you find honeycombs, and then you find this hole, and then you parkour down the hole, slide down honey blocks, and then you land in this area right here. Now, how do you get out? Well, hopefully you brought some scaffolding or something, because otherwise you're going to have to mine your way out. These random bee caves would be on aesthetic for the bees and would be a great source of honeycomb and honey blocks. So imagine this, you're mining, and then you find a wall of green slime blocks. What even is this, you wonder? Well, of course, it is our next biome. Dig through the slime blocks, and then you will enter the slime cave. Now, this one could be really interesting. There's a lot of potential that comes with this one. The slime cave would be the home of the slime. It would be a green, slimy, sticky biome. Now, hold up, let's talk about some characteristics of the slime caves really quick. First off, how do you find this cave? Well, you would find it down under the ground, but always, when you find it, it would be blocked off. You'd have to break some blocks to get into it. I would probably go the route of slime blocks because they're pretty obvious. You would find a wall of slime blocks, clearly you want to dig through them. Inside of this biome, you would find, of course, a lot of slime spawning. Maybe slime naturally spawn in this biome. More on that in a second. Now, slime blocks, they're sticky blocks. They slow you down when you move on them. What else slows you down? Well, cobwebs. I felt like going the whole hard to move around route would be perfect for this biome. So, inside of this biome, I put some cave spider spawners. They could be here or not, and then cobwebs on the ceiling as well. Not that you would be traveling around on the ceiling very much, but if you were for some reason, I don't know how, but if you were, you'd be stuck up there too. To switch it up a little bit, I feel like this biome should be bright. Now, in this example, I'm using jack-o'-lanterns to light it up. I actually feel like the jack-o'-lanterns sort of fit the vibe down here, but if they didn't, I had a good idea. Imagine a brand new farmable plant that is just like pumpkins or melons, but this time, the plant is just a bright plant. You don't actually eat it. The plant, cave plant. If the devs went that route, this biome would be the source of cave plants, a brand new farmable plant that you'd want to go down into this biome to find bring it back up to the surface, and farm it. On the floor, we have a lot of grass, coarse dirt, flowers, you know, that type of thing. And then on the wall, I went in here with the dripstone block. I felt like the dripstone block was really cool. I even added a little bit of pointed dripstone in this biome. If you came across this biome, you would be highly tempted to probably take out all of the slime blocks and bring them with you. But if you weren't careful, you could end up hitting one of the pointed dripstone that's sitting around, and then it falls on you, and it hurts you. So this biome could be another challenging biome. It probably wouldn't be as dangerous as the cold caves biome, but it could be a challenge. Now let's talk about slime spawning. As you already probably know, in Minecraft 1.16, slime spawn in swamp biomes and in slime chunks. This could all change if the swamp cave biome were to be added. Or it couldn't, and honestly, I don't think it should. Slime chunks should always be a thing. They're great for the players who like to farm in Minecraft. But if a slime cave biome were to be added into Minecraft, I think that a brand new slime mob should also be added. And actually, this brand new slime mob would take inspiration from the cave spider. The new slime would be called the cave slime. I imagine the cave slime is a little bit smaller because caves are cramped, but maybe they deal a little bit more damage, or maybe even, just like the cave spider, poison. Slime are a really cool mob, but I feel like they're another one of those mobs that is just a little bit too rare. A brand new biome for this mob to live in? Well, if the slime had feelings, I bet they would be happy right now. Last but not least, let's talk about these blocks right here. Granite, andesite, and diorite. Something is going to need to happen with these blocks once the caves get updated. Of course, we don't really know what the final caves will look like right now, but will these random chunks of minerals still be in the caves? If I had my way, then no, probably not. At least not for the most part. Maybe sometimes, but not as much as now. Instead, I think all three of these blocks should get their own unique biomes. So, here we go. For the fifth idea, we have 3 biomes in one. First off, the andesite caves. Inside of the andesite caves, everything would be made out of andesite, and then to spice things up even more, I feel like each one of these biomes should have their own unique ore that spawns a little bit more, almost like those terracotta caves that we checked out earlier. Inside of the andesite caves, iron. I feel like iron would fit perfectly in here. Now, an entire cave system built out of andesite. Yeah, that wouldn't fit the vibe of improved caves. That would be pretty lazy, so I feel like there should be one accent block in every single one of these biomes. This time, I went with the tough block. I wasn't sure if tough would really be the way to go though, because again, it kind of has to do with amethyst, but it does fit in here. The textures blend in here like perfectly, and it does look really cool. I put the lanterns in here so we could actually see. Now, I did have another idea when it comes to these biomes. That idea has to do with the shape of these caves. I feel like each different block type, andesite, diorite, granite, should have a different shape. And maybe the andesite caves are a little bit more like the old classic caves, because andesite does look like stone, and if you found this in 1.17, yeah, that would be a little bit nostalgic looking. I feel like that would be cool and a nice tribute to the old caves. Other nice andesite cave accent blocks could be cobblestone or maybe even cyan terracotta. Moving on to the granite caves. Now, the granite caves, the accent block was pretty obvious here. Terracotta, it blends in perfectly and will provide another option for terracotta in your world, which would be cool. But if we wanted to go the 1.17 route, dripstone blocks, they match granite pretty well too. Now, what ore in the granite caves? Well, that one was actually pretty straightforward. Really simple. It all comes down to the color here. Copper. Copper is relatively similar in tone to granite, so copper should definitely generate in the granite caves in higher amounts. That would be really cool. Now, if the devs really wanted to get spicy here, maybe we could see brand new ore types as well. This block right here exemplifies what I'm talking about perfectly. Nether gold ore. Gold ore that is inside of netherrack. Imagine this, but with copper and granite instead, or with iron and andesite. Going this route would eliminate the weird borders that aren't so obvious in the andesite cave biome, but are very obvious inside of the granite caves. It could be another cool way to go, and I feel like it probably shouldn't be too much work. I mean, it's just changing a texture. Alright, the new ore block would behave identical to the normal ore blocks. But anyways, this is the granite cave biome. I feel like the granite cave should be a little bit bigger. Like this one, it's kind of more of a cavern, a wider cave. I feel like that would be cool. Next up, finally, the diorite caves. So this one was a little bit tricky. We don't have a lot of different white blocks in Minecraft. So in terms of an accent block, I was thinking maybe calcite, but again, the whole amethyst thing. So maybe sand, a white concrete powder, but again, that's kind of man-made. Or maybe even bone blocks, but that's kind of nethery. So I'm not too sure. Maybe this is a great opportunity for another white block. The ore inside of the diorite caves, because diorite is garbage, coal. Coal is the most basic ore in Minecraft. And if diorite coal ore were to become a thing, well, I feel like that texture would look pretty cool. Now, this example doesn't show it off very well. And in fact, it doesn't show it off at all. But I feel like the diorite caves should maybe, instead of be horizontal, horizontal, it'd be vertical caves. That would be really, really cool. The vertical diorite caves would sort of be like those big cave drops that we see in Minecraft right now. You can go down them. It's tricky, but you can go down them. I feel like the perfect way to incorporate diorite, granite, and andesite into the cave update is to give each of these resources their own biome. They could still generate in small chunks in the other cave biomes, but because we'll be getting brand new cave biomes made up of other blocks, you'll end up seeing less andesite, granite, and diorite. Biomes for each of these blocks would offset that perfectly. So what do you think? Which biome was your favorite? What's another biome that you'd love to see in the cave update? Let me know down in the comments below. This week is list week, a thing that I like to do at the end of every single year. When it's list week, I basically upload more list videos, just like this one. With that being said, there will be some guide episodes and maybe even a snapshot video as well. If you haven't yet, remember to leave a like and subscribe. That helps me out big time. Today, big shout out to my patrons, Dragons2458 and Violet Pirate. Until next time, stay cavey. Goodbye.